Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, a bartender in the OSR, and a proprietor of Tenkar's Tavern blog, Discord server, Mewe group, Facebook group, yada yada yada, Instagram and Twittering. If you hear like off-key singing in the background, I have neighbors. I guess it's a bunch of college students, and of course college is done with. Even though it was kind of done with before because everybody was going from home, but weather's gotten warm, the pool table's out in the backyard, and this is going to be a relatively common occurrence. This is going to be, I guess, episode 1 of the Gamer Health podcast. Rach may pop in on this, or not, I don't know. But I'm going to give an update as to what's going on with me. Again, neither I nor Rach are health professionals. We're not offering advice. We're pretty much going to be offering experience and maybe providing places where folks can share amongst each other. Okay? In my case, I have greatly changed my eating habits. Oh my God, I've cut salt out as much as humanly possible. I've never read sodium content of so much shit in my fucking life. Because for those who are following at home, I had, I guess I still have, I will always have congestive heart failure, which basically means I have a weak heart. So to compensate for the weak heart, I have to put it in a position where it doesn't need to work as hard. Right? You know, if your heart can only work at, I don't know, throw a number out there, 60% capacity, you don't want to make it try to work at 100%. You want to do things like lose weight, lower your sodium content, get your blood sugar under control, all that wonderful fucking fun stuff. All right? Here is the deal. I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm the last person to preach this shit. Okay? I miss my beer. I'm going to find a way to get back into my fucking diet at some point. Even if it's only fucking Heineken Zero. It's coming back. I miss it. But here's the thing. I have found that when I was hospitalized, there was still some sodium in a lot of my food. But knowing that I'm cutting it out as much as humanly possible, I taste it more when it's there even slightly. And I find that very interesting. You don't really need too much salt or sodium to be able to taste it. What else have Rach and I done to eat healthier? I used to eat at the pub for lunch, which I haven't been because I've been sick and the pub's been closed because it's one of a COVID thing. But I was probably there 4 out of 5 lunches in a weekend, probably once in a weekend. So I was probably spending between beer and food and tips, maybe $150 a week on. It was like going back. It was like going to work in Manhattan, having to pay for food. About $150 a week. So now we're trying a Daily Harvest, I believe it's called. It's what you see on advertised on TV occasionally, at least here in the metropolitan area in New York. You get these frozen, ready-to-prepare smoothies. Ingredients are not chopped up. It's fresh frozen blueberries or whatever. The idea is that we're going to try to find the recipes or the combination that we like, see which ones we can duplicate, and down the line, buy our own ingredients at a supermarket. Again, once COVID is no longer COVID. Boom, 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 boom. And I gotta say, they have like these frozen desserts, like a Haagen-Dazs ice cream. The chocolate one was decadent, made with coconut milk of all things. You can't duplicate it on your own, I don't think, but very good. And here's the thing, too. I like to eat. A lot of us like to eat. And apparently, even when I was trying to eat well and healthy and keep up on my exercise, I couldn't get below about 240 pounds. Apparently because I was retaining some water for fucking a year or more. All right, so my heart had been having issues for a while. So now, by the way, I'm down to 223.6 pounds, and that's almost the weight that I left the police academy back in '97. Haven't seen that weight since '97, so it's good. Okay, and as I'm controlling the weight better and watching what I'm eating, and my blood sugar is getting better. It all interconnects, folks. It all interconnects. I've been doing the stationary bike. They want me to work my way up to about 40 minutes a day of cardio, whether it's walking or the stationary bike or whatever. For me, the stationary bike works best in this COVID world. So I'm up to 16 minutes twice a day. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess so far we're on a fourth day where my blood sugar has not spiked above 200. When I was in the hospital, it spiked above that pretty much 4 times a day when it was tested. So there you go. Trying to watch what I eat. I have to watch my fluid intake. They don't want you taking in more than about 2 quarts of water a day, because the extra water could cause your body to retain it. And if it retains it, again, makes your heart work harder as you're holding on to this extra water weight. We don't want that. I don't want that. Okay? Again, what we're thinking of, Rach and I, is I have a procedure on Monday, another stent going in, at least one, which will put me at 4 minimum. What Rach and I are thinking about is once we're done, I'm done with the procedures, we are going to set up probably a private channel on the 10 Cars Tavern Discord server for people that want to discuss their health situation. Maybe talk about being overweight, their type 2 diabetes because they're overweight, their health issues because they're overweight, or whatever their issues are, but they don't want to talk about this in public. I've had a lot of people reach out to me privately, and I'd like to set something like this up. And I've mentioned before, Rach is going to try to find meditations she could share or yoga insights for your mindfulness to help you put you in that right frame of mind. Again, we are not healthcare professionals. We are not offering medical advice of any sort, but we're going to be talking about our experiences. I mean, Rach is going through this with me. She is changing her diet, so we're both going through this experience of literally cutting back on the carbs and cutting out on the sodium and trying to find healthier replacements for snacking, and it's working. Right, Rach?
Indeed it is.
You know, and
it's a beautiful thing.
And I know with me, I since I guess my low weight at the hospital is like 231 and change. But I think I left at 233 with some water weight to lose, and having lost the water weight, now I'm losing real weight. So down almost 10 pounds in the last week and a day, but I'm going to say probably 3 or 4 pounds of that was retained water. And of course, when you're trying to lose weight, the initial weight comes off relatively quickly because you're shedding your body's own excess water, and I believe it's held by like fat cells and stuff, especially cutting out the sodium.
Especially if you go also from high calories to very low to like lower calories.
Calories.
It's
or
it dumps.
Right. And you're trying to find things that have a lower impact on the glycemic index. So even stuff that might have a carbohydrate count. Like we're having oatmeal every morning. I like oatmeal. I'm having steel cut oatmeal that we nuke up in about 3 minutes.
And every doctor recommends that.
Yeah, because steel cut oatmeal is pretty much oatmeal that is less refined. It's less broken down. Takes your body longer to absorb it. Good source of fiber. And I have pretty much a sugar-free. Is it blackberry or blueberry?
I thought it was blueberry.
We have blueberry jam. That's pretty much sugar-free.
It's Polaner.
Yeah, it adds some calories. It probably adds a couple of carbs.
We got a peach one coming up, so that's pretty tasty.
And that allows us to treat ourselves. And again, the Daily Harvest food, that is a treat.
Yeah, it is a real treat. It's very good.
I mean, the other thing that my doctor and my visiting nurse, really feels strange to say that I actually have a nurse coming to the house, makes you feel like you're really, like, I don't know, ill. But it's good to have somebody checking up on you and making sure that not just you're following stuff, but tracking your progress, giving you positive feedback on what you're doing. But the whole thing is more fruits, more vegetables. Well, with the Daily Harvest, we're certainly ingesting more fruits, more vegetables.
Yep.
More
than ever.
Right. More natural fiber. This is stuff that will fill you up and will keep you going, and it's a hell of a change. It's a hell of a change. Now, to get off the health aspect briefly, just as a side note, I am not going to be on the blog side. I will not be posting Monday and Tuesday. Christopher Stoggill is going to be taking over the posting duties on those days. And then Chris is going to be picking up Sundays. Chris will be posting at the tavern on Sundays. God bless him. Also, huge treat, we're going to have the gentleman from the Silver Belay Publishing, that's Ian and Rocky. They are going to be picking up a day on the tavern. I'm not sure which one yet. And I believe their plan is to do a dungeon room a week. So it's going to be gaming content. Folks, I've always wanted to add voices to the tavern. I've been trying different ways. And I was, when you get hospitalized and your life gets into focus, you realize that, some things are meant to be properly shared. And the tavern is that, because although I may supervise it, I may bartend it, the tavern belongs to the community, and it should reflect that. So I'm very happy to bring these gentlemen along. And again, here on the Tavern Chat podcast, Gamers Health is going to probably, at this rate, it seems like it's going to be a Friday night thing. Now, like I said, for me, I've been doing a little bit over 30 minutes a day on the exercise bike. Rach has gotten back into doing her yoga. It's not as easy to do at home, but with the Peloton app and subscription, you can get access to yoga classes and other exercise classes, which allows you to do such stuff at home.
And you can do your usual studios, but it's been hard to wrap my head around. They're nice people, but for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't understand what I have to do to do the class, because you pay the full price of the $20 per class. So I'm like, maybe I'll just wait for a really good workshop to come up and pay more, but get more information and learn more stuff.
And get to wear your mask, right? You're gonna be socializing in a workshop anytime soon, right? Seriously?
Online workshop, yeah.
Online workshop.
Yeah.
Well, I hear
the one that I wanted to go to, the yoga therapy one, it's to help people with different medical issues and just whatever difference, be able to be included in yoga or disabilities or just things like that. And it's supposed to be run by a doctor, and they postponed it I don't know when it's gonna actually happen. They don't have a date for that, but it's a 5-day workshop. I'm like, yeah. That you have to do in person, though. I don't.
Well, that's
think
why
it's
they
the
postpone.
same.
That's why they postpone.
Yeah.
Folks, if you've been listening, Gen Con has been canceled for this year. Gamehole Con has been canceled for this year. North Texas is happening, but it's mostly going to be an online. That's just what it is. Frog God Games is having a Frog God Game Day on Sunday, 2 days from now, the 31st. If you want to sign up, there's a link on the 10 Cars Tavern blog. That's tonight's link. When I posted it up, there were about 25 slots still open. It's good people running these games. You'll have a good time. I do believe that this whole COVID situation is really going to push online virtual tabletop gaming. It's gonna push these programmers to innovate, to bring these tools to the level you really need to put them at, for folks to start duplicating face-to-face games effectively, to really get that feel. I think we're gonna get close. I seriously do. Listen, I every day on the Tavern Chat podcast, I tell you to wash your hands and maintain your social distance of 6 feet and wear your mask. But folks, I'm not going to stress this enough. As restrictions now are loosening and doctors' offices are opening up, get checked up. To be honest with you, I mean, the health problems I had this year, if we weren't with the pneumonia and return of pneumonia, which, folks, if we hadn't been in COVID, I would have been seeing my doctor in person. We would have dealt with this earlier. Now, would it made a difference? I don't know. Apparently, I've had blockages for the longest time, and the virus hit me God knows when. It's just that the pneumonia weakened my body to the point where my heart was no longer able to compensate for its weaknesses, and we had this issue. So, get yourself to a doctor if you have, even if you think you're fucking 100% fine.
Well, you should be getting your yearly medical evals.
You should be, but it's been a stressful year for all of us. Stress means a lot of things. Stress can lead to heart issues, other issues. It can lead to blood sugar issues. Get yourself checked out, okay? I don't think either one of us can stress this enough, but there is nothing more important than your actual health. Because if you're not healthy, you can't help others. You can't be there for others if you have to, if your health is failing. So let's get you healthy, all right? And the only way you can do that is you got to get yourself healthy. You got to motivate yourself, okay? It's a shame, and I'll say this right now, it's a fucking shame that I had to have congestive heart failure and be hospitalized for 2 weeks and get 3 stents and at least one more coming up on Monday to put myself in the position where it's like, oh shit, I gotta shit and get off the pot or probably die early. So I'm gonna shit, get off the pot. Yeah, they're cheering me on in the background. But I don't plan on tapping out early. I plan on being here for the long haul. So, God willing, you're going to be stuck with me for a large number of years, folks. And we're happy to be here for you. As always, be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice. Thank you all for your support. And I'll talk with you and probably with Rachel too tomorrow. Later, folks.